Coach, in the 2024-2025 season, you had a program record, 9 All-America honors, and 3 conference champions. Do you find it difficult at times to kind of follow up a season like that that's so memorable, and how do you look to replicate or even beat successes like that?
Yeah, I've been here for 22 years, and every year is different, and I think that's where the challenge lives. You have different personnel, different coaches, different athletes, and the challenge is really what I always picture when I have to make tough decisions or just lay out a plan for the year. For some of those athletes, that's their highlight of their career. That's their one moment where they can really shine, and I owe it to them to make that as good of a moment as possible. And that's kind of, I think, what keeps me energized all those years, repeating all these championships and practices and travel and all that. So, yeah.
Coach, track and field and cross country has such a wide range of events and things that are going on. How do you kind of differentiate between the different events and the different activities that are going on as a coach with so many people that are kind of specializing in one area?
Yeah, I think my background being German, when I started out in track and field, you got exposed to everything. So I have pretty much tried all these events at some point. So I always feel like I have something to relate to with the athletes that I'm having on the team. But yeah, it's like a big orchestra, right? You just got all kinds of different groups within groups training for many different things. Where we find ourselves united, so is our goal to really, eke out the best possible scenario for each athlete, and just the drive to support each other. We have a one-team culture that we're really proud of. It's like our second family. We spend a lot of time together, sometimes more than with our family members. And so for us, it's really important that we support each other and that it's a fun environment to train in and to be around. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
So you have been with the Bearcats for 22 years. How do you think your coaching style has evolved throughout your time with the program, especially them now being in the Big 12?
Yeah, I think you learn how to focus on the big stuff a little bit more. When you start out, you think you have to solve everything, and then as you do this a few times, you learn how to focus on the bigger picture, the things I can only do for the program, and then learning how to utilize the people around you, like let's get an intern for graphics. Why not? I'm not good at that. So, just find more help and learn how to teach. We don't just teach our athletes, we also teach a lot of our support staff. How to do the job, how to be efficient at the job, how do you do it for track and field and cross country. And so, you always teach, you always learn. And, I feel like that's really never changing, but you become more efficient in how you lay it out. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Coach. So when I was growing up, I ran long distance, and I felt like in a team setting, sometimes the sprinters and the long distance and even the weight people kind of like never really meshed well. And you already talked about how important it is to have a great culture and have one unit. So what are some things that you think you have tried and work when it comes to creating a culture where everyone kind of fits in and does their job?
Yeah, good observation. And that's something that a lot of the recruits and their parents that visit us tell us, that at other teams it feels very segmented at the college level as well. And they're always positively surprised when they experience their 2 days on an official visit and they feel like everybody knows each other. People talk about each other, it's not just kind of a fake, like, yeah, we hang out. No, everybody really does know each other. We do a lot of team building in the fall especially, where we set up things so that they have to kind of mix and mingle and get a little bit out of their groups. And we also have shared goal meetings where people get to hear about the goals each group has and each individual athlete has. And we keep explaining that together it's easier to go through these hard workouts than it is on your own. We also uniquely, in the fall, having our entire track and field side of the team. So cross country is doing cross country season, but all the track and field athletes, so jumps, throws, sprints, hurdles, multis, everybody, we do our conditioning together. So if you go through 6 weeks of conditioning with the Bearcats, you know each other really well after that. And so for spring break, we were just talking about that today. We're going to take them all bowling. We're going to have them in mixed groups so that we'll find out, who's the best bowler on the team. And that's where they get to hang out and interact with each other. And it's intentional, but we're so used to it that for us it's really normal. So that's how we do it.
Hi, so kind of on a different note, after coaching an Olympic silver medalist in 2024, how has that impacted your coaching style or changed any of the experiences that you decided you wanted to bring to the team?
Yeah, I think having that experience to coach at the highest level and, fulfilling that dream that most of us athletes have to one day participate in the Olympics and actually be in a position to win a medal and help someone win a medal as a coach. That's been really satisfying to reach that goal that took us 10 years of work together. And so really, I think what it more does, it shows to the younger athletes and coaches that if you consistently apply yourself, you can really reach almost any goal. Of course, most of the team members are aware. Annette Echikunwake, our medal winner, is still part of the team. She is one of our volunteer coaches, and she's around them every day. And so they see that consistent work, that consistent effort. They see that it's not some kind of magic that happens at that level. You grind and you owe it to yourself to bring it every day. Otherwise, you're not going to make it to that level. And so really for me, as far as coaching, I think you learn how to focus more on the important things, like I mentioned earlier. And you just kind of, become a little bit less detail focused and say, hey, this is what's really important. There's a little bit of a range of how we can get there, different athletes, different answers to the same problem. And I think that's where you have a lot of confidence that different paths can lead to the same results. So, yeah.
We were talking with the volleyball coach earlier, and the snippet she said interested me, and I want to see your philosophy given your international background as well. She said she would be looking to continue to get international students as long as the country allowed it. I want to know your philosophy when it comes towards recruiting compared to international, local transport Americans, or even just Ohio high schoolers. What are you looking for?
Yeah, so obviously we look for people that can help us to be competitive in the Big 12. That's a big challenge with the larger conferences now. There's only 8 scoring positions in track and field at the conference meet, and we have 16 teams on the women's side. So even if you have your top athlete in that event, they might be NCAA level athletes, but they might not make the finals at the conference championship because it's just so stacked. It's so high performance focused. But yes, we really want to, show a path for everybody. And so when we recruit, I very much feel my mission doesn't matter if I'm a German by heritage or not. My job is to take care of this area, of the Cincinnati area, of this state, Ohio. So we just sent 2 of our coaches to the indoor Ohio State meet, and they were the only big Power 4 program that was present and that was noticed by all the high school coaches. And so we really want to always first look to our own people and find them first and get them here, get them into the natty, and get them to compete at a high level. If you look at our team's profile, we still have a lot of athletes that are local, that are from Ohio and the surrounding states. That's what we focus on first. If we can find it here, then that's what we're going to go with. But of course, we also have to branch out. There are some event areas where there is not that much available talent around here. And then we have to go and open up recruiting nationwide as well as just all over the world. So I feel like we have a pretty good mixture of international athletes as well as local athletes and athletes from our region. I feel like we have a pretty good balance there.
Would it make you happy to see another German come through your doors?
We have another German. He just got here in the winter, Emmanuel, one of the German coaches that I saw at the World Championships last fall in Tokyo. I know her back from when she competed in the NCAA, and she came to me and said, "Hey, I really want to send you this young man. I think he would do really well in the American system. And I think it will help his development, both as a student and an athlete." So we got him here, he is here. And hopefully he will be one of our next great stories to tell. So, yeah.
Thank you.
What about questions for Coach about Juliet, who we spoke with
Yes.
earlier, and what's coming up this weekend and all that good stuff?
I was just about to ask that. So, Coach, we just talked with Juliet, and obviously she's heading off to NCAA indoors. She is the second best at her event in the nation. What does it mean to you to have an athlete like that to inspire her own teammates and recruits that want to come to Cincinnati? How big of a force is she on your team on so many different levels?
Yeah, Juliet is definitely the standard for our team. You know, everybody looks up to her. She works really hard every day. She doesn't have any of those, you know, I'm better than you attitudes that you sometimes see. She just works really hard. She supports everybody, freshmen, walk-ons, everyone. But yeah, she really sets the standard. I remember in the winter when we were lifting really heavy in the weight room, the whole entire weight room stopped because Juliet was testing, and all the athletes that were in there, the jumpers, the throwers, we all went over there to watch her test power cleans. And it was absolutely amazing watching her, you know, lift more than she weighs by far. And we were all cheering her on, and it was just amazing, you know. And so the team is very aware that they have someone that is of a very high level, but she's always approachable, and they can always go and talk to her. And then, of course, also the teammates are there to support her. And so I feel like it's a really good environment for her. We're super excited for her to be ranked second in the nation. Last year, I'm sure she told the story, she missed the indoor nationals by a point. And she said, "That's never going to happen to me. That hurts way too much. I'm not going to let this ever happen again. I'm going to work really hard to improve." And she has done that and more. And now we're really excited to take her to NCAAs in Fayetteville at Arkansas and just see what we can do with that position. So, yeah.
Like Juliet, is there any other athletes in any of the other positions for indoors that you are excited about seeing this weekend?
So we only have Juliet qualified. It's a qualifying system. It's really hard. You have to be one of the top 16 athletes in the country. It's quite brutal when you narrow down thousands of people competing in the NCAA to 16. And unfortunately, we had some athletes that were ranked in the top 30 or top 50, top 30. We had a number of them, but we did not quite get all the way up to that top 16 rank. So she will be the only one. And we'll make sure we take good care of her and help her to achieve that next level of hopefully finishing in the top 3 in the country. Yeah.
I got one. You know, in your lengthy coaching career, talk to me about how the procedure changes when you only got one athlete to take care of at a special event like this compared to if you send multiple.
Yeah, with us talking about team and how supportive everybody is, we have a group me that people will engage on, and they will keep cheering her on all the way through. But yeah, we have done this a few times now, including with Juliet. 2 years ago, we went to internationals when she was a freshman. She was also the only athlete there. And we make it fun. You know, I was talking to her event coach, Coach Weinberg, and we were picking out a couple outside of track activities for Thursday to see if she wanted to engage in any of those, just to take her mind off a little bit. And her parents are there. Her boyfriend is going to travel as well, you know, and they're going to be at the championship. So we will include them in some of the things that we do, like eating a nice dinner and maybe doing some of those extra activities to keep it nice and relaxed and have her, you know, mentally sitting there in a hotel room thinking about it the whole time. And, we're used to it. You mentioned the Olympics earlier. That was also just one athlete, and we were there for a whole month. So you really have to know when to be involved and know when to step back and let them just kind of have their own time. And then once we get there, she will, like I said, she will have her people around, but she also knows all the other athletes from other teams. So I think she's looking forward to seeing some of them and engaging with them. So it should be a fun environment for her. Yeah.
Thank you.
All good? Oh, one more? Sorry. Hopefully.
You've talked about Juliet's improvement,
Yeah.
but what exactly do you think stands out the most as her development as an athlete throughout her years here at Cincinnati?
Yeah, just her drive. She gets very intense, and not just in competition and practice. And that's really something that a lot of athletes still need to figure out. How do I bring this absolute intensity in training, not just in the competition? And that really has helped. She sets goals, and then she really, really bites into those goals and doesn't let go. She's had some little nagging injuries here or there, but she usually manages to just be super diligent with her recovery and going and using our sports medicine available resources to really get herself back on track quickly. And her nutrition, everything, she's just one of those dream athletes that do all we call it little things right, so that she can, perform at this level. But yeah, it's been really fun. She's our school record holder in the multi, but also in the hurdles and in the long jump. So she set multiple records in the process of qualifying and being ranked second in the country.